Oh, wait, hold up. This is the reason why people have like 3,000 screens. Okay, there we go. Now I see that portion. Look at that. Okay. We should be good. I mean, unless I just like do big screen. I don't know what does big. I forgot I had all that in the background. I could just like go like this. What is in the background? A whole bunch of crazy mess is in the background. That's what's going on. I guess that's why I had it like this. That makes sense. Hey, Xbox. Hi, guys. My friends said that they were going to play with me. I don't believe them. Well, my friends will join when they join. They will be a-okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Oh, Killers. Wait, Killers, you're not being a mod today, so you can relax. You're chilling. You're chilling. First. There we go. I can't. Yeah, I know you can't. What is up, guys? How are you guys? Welcome to the stream. I hope my audio levels are good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. My name is Janey Laney, and I need to end the Minecraft music real quick. I'm sorry. I love Minecraft, but I had to end the music real quick. Anyways, welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Janey Laney. I don't want that responsibility on this channel. I know you don't, because I know how you are. You will be ready to like ether people. You'll be like, ah. They are mucho bueno. Yes. So welcome everyone. Hola, ¿cómo está? For everyone who does speak Spanish, my name is Janey Laney. So mi amo Janey Laney. I am going to be doing some awesome showcasing of Minecraft today for the not the Black Minecraft feature, sorry. For the Black History Month feature by Xbox. I am the creator of Black Minecraft, where we do all things to try to make sure that Black and POC creators, so Black creators of color who do create Minecraft content, do have that visibility. We help to try to fund some people as well. We just try to make sure that people know that they are welcomed in this space. Even if they look like me, even if they look like you. So we are going to get started here. My friends were supposed to come play with me. They'll pop in every now and again. We have to build. What are we building today? I think we have to do an iron golem farm. We have to go to the nether. There's a lot of weirdo stuff we got to do today. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. And yeah, we're going to get started. What is up, guys? How are you? Thank you. Oh, my friends. So yeah, so let's get started here. Funny enough, Minecraft actually has been updating and doing like a lot of stuff in their patch notes. So I'm kind of excited about that. You know. Let's see here. Oh, whoa, I have that as a screen? That's cool. Where's my Minecraft game? My Minecraft game was just up here. We are going to open this up. Put Minecraft. You might have to, for whatever reason, Killers, Minecraft has been acting up on OBS for whatever reason. And I am not sure why I still have a black screen. We're just gonna click through all this. We're just clicking. All right, so I have the screen on that one. There we go. You guys knew I was gonna fix it. All right, so cool thing. I do create my own skins, which is something pretty awesome that I do. I've created some like black celebrity skins too, but I also do like my Halo skins, Adventure Time skins. For those of you guys who do not know a lot about Minecraft, about 2019, actually, the day that I was at the Minecraft Live or whatever, they introduced the character creator. And this is this really cool character creator. Ignore the fact that she's bald, okay? Just ignore her. Oh, it is? Okay, got you. So basically with the character creator, it does allow you to go ahead and, well, create a character. So you could create a character from all different types of looks. Hey, what is up? How are you? You could create a character from all different types of looks. You can have them be tall, be short. As you can see, my character right here is like really short. So yeah, and like you could change the color of your skin. Something that I really, really did like, wait, hold up. I could be a diamond. I could be a diamond light blue person. What is this? Hello? So that is something that's really cool. I want you guys to all make sure you guys do take advantage of a lot of these features. I'm a big feature person. Big feature person. Vertigo. At first I was like, are you trying to say vitiligo? Like what? What happened? Also, I'm a big emote person. All right. So if you guys catch any of my content, and of course the socials will be periodically going throughout the stream and stuff like that. If you guys catch any of my content, you guys know I'm a big marketplace person. So if you guys do love the Minecraft marketplace, we need to hang out. We can do so many marketplace stuff together. She's not using her wig. She's using her hat. I'm dead. So we're going to go inside of the worlds. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been working on the skins. It's making skins is actually a whole lot harder than you think. Like, cause you could do like 3D skins, you could do non-3D skins, you could just do like a whole bunch of everything. When you send your friend a call on Discord and you hope that they answer your call, cause they don't. So right now, I'm definitely I'm wearing some armor. I don't care. I'm still cute. Look at me. I'm cute. So currently I'm using Mizuno. That is the name of my texture pack. I'm a big texture pack buff and all that jazz. Hey, what is up? How are you? I am team texture packs. Okay. Minecraft knows how I feel about not playing with the texture pack. It's upsetting. Oh, there's 3 people. Hold up. Who am I playing? This is what I'm talking about. All right. So we have my friend Whitney, which I don't know if you guys may or may not hear Whitney. Whitney currently is actually playing on her PlayStation. And Dark, I think Dark is on her Xbox. I don't know if Dark wants to get into a thing or not. Vibe is here. Vibe, get in. Get in, Vibe. So what's really cool about me is I'm the type of person that really just loves to play with a lot of different people, and with Minecraft Bedrock Edition, you can do crossplay, okay? I am team Xbox all the way, all right? I'm team Xbox. I got 2 pairs of Xbox shoes over there. I got my Xbox MVP awards someplace in the hall. I'm team Xbox, but I love being able to play with people regardless of whether or not they're on Xbox, their phone, PlayStation, all of that stuff. Yeah, I have 2 pairs of the Xbox shoes because Xbox did not give me the 3rd pair. You guys need to tell them. Meg, be like, yo, Janey needs that first pair that nobody could buy. Tell them I'm an Xbox MVP. Tell them to give me that. I don't like to ask Xbox for stuff because I think it might be rude of me because I get aggressive. Yes, hook me up. So Vibe is gonna be here. Vibe actually lives in the UK. Not Minecraft shoes yet. They need to make me some. Minecraft. Oh my god, guys, I have to give you guys the Minecraft updates. Oh my god, I forgot to give you guys the Minecraft updates. Yo, okay, so first and foremost, Minecraft and Puma just came out with a map together. It's a racing map. It's really, really cool. Minecraft also collaborated with Bathing Ape, and they came out with some new Minecraft merch and all that. We have, oh my gosh, we have so many collabs coming out. So many collabs coming out. Yes, through Jinx. I need creeper shoes. You just want my feet to blow up. I know what you're trying to do. What is up? How are you guys? I'm totally hyped. Like, yo, Minecraft is my favorite game. I the first time I ever saw Minecraft, my friend Tokyo, aka Matrice, I'll call her by her online name, Matrice Moon. Um, I went over to her house. We used to work at AT&T together. I went over to her house and I was like, "Yo, what are you playing? It looks so stupid." I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Ma'am, what is this?" I was like, "Yo, I can't watch this." Here it is years later. How about her Minecraft skin on shoes? Oh, yo. If Christina is here, Christina needs to know. Yes. Dark is in the building. Oh, yes. So here is, because it even though it is nighttime, we do actually have this lit up really good. So this is one of the things that we've been working on, which was trying to make sure that we could fortify this village. It's been different. Oh, with all the cute animals on them. That is so cute. Oh, imagine you have a sheep or a pig, right? And then like it's like their face is just like blah, like right, and it's on the side, and it's just like it's me. I want to have sheep on my shoes. I'm having sheep on my shoes. I'm doing sheep shoes. That's it. We're doing sheep shoes. All right. Don't put the cat and you. I think it might be weird to put cows on the shoes. That might be a little bit rude. If you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry. It just might be a little bit rude. Like I just don't. I wouldn't feel comfortable with the cows on the shoe. As long as, well, I mean, as long as the shoe's not made out of leather, I guess that's fine. So this is dark. Um, we need bees. We need bees on shoes. So this is dark. So this is my friend Dark. This is one of my all-time moderators, right along with Killers, which Killers is in here, but Killers also might be working, might be doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. But sheep are fine. Yeah, the sheep are fine. Why is it not the sheep? Because the shoes not are not made out of sheep. And plus the sheep are gonna be like, nah, like they're just gonna pop up like, yeah, like, you know what? Or was that more of a goat? Whatever. You guys decide. Yeah, you're not in the realm. Wait, is it because I didn't invite you? What is this? Dark. Oh my god. So guys, I took a break for like 8 days. I come back. What in the world? So apparently we have a inner workings of a. Oh, I thought you meant a whole entire aquifer or something. I was like, Dark, what? Like for real? What is this? Dark, ma'am? What is this? Mind you, Dark is Australian. So Dark is used to living a fancy life because we don't have this in America. I gotta step my game up. Yes, you do. You okay, but what is this? Dark, you're not just gonna make this and just be like, yeah, there's stairs. Like, imagine talking about the stairs and you have this going right here. Imagine. So, guys, welcome to the stream. My name is Janey Laney. Oh, I also have a big announcement. Dang it, I should have told you this, Meg. I have a big announcement. I'm letting you guys know this now. Janey's coming back to Twitch. 2 days out the week. So 2 days out of the week, I will be here on Twitch, and what we're actually going to be doing is I want to actually utilize my channel to making sure that we can highlight all of the Black Minecrafters, all of the Minecrafters of color. So I'm gonna be here on Twitch for 2 days out the week. Yes, if you can, I forgot to tell you. I am so sorry. I suck at announcements because I'm trash. Hey, Matrice Moon! Like I said, Matrice is the first person who I ever watched play Minecraft. First person. Like right there. Like I know Matrice. Matter of fact, she just actually came over to my house yesterday. I met Matrice years ago while working at AT&T. And like I said, like, you know, sometimes she'll watch my dog, everything like that. All that stuff. And shout out to Matrice Moon, because she just finally broke away from having a regular job. Okay, she is a writer. All right, she writes for Game Rant as well. Okay, she's an up and coming screenwriter, screenplay writer, all of that jazz and everything like that. You know, when Xbox, she actually did an article about Xbox with what OPI for Halo. BT Dubs, I like Halo. Hey, what is up? How are you? So shout out to her, most definitely. Like I'm a big, you know, big fangirl. So this used to, oh my god. So this right here used to look totally different. This right here used to be some other parts of the Dark. When did you do this? You could have done. When did you do this? Read the sign. What sign? Turtle Aquarium. Yeah, I mean, sure. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay. I trust you. Question: Can you make it so we could swim with the turtles? I mean, if you make it so I can swim with, can I go in it? Can you? I mean, I. Right. Exactly. Angelic wings. And guys, I'm sorry if I'm not catching everything. I'm also mentally trying to remember where I put my glasses. Most of you guys know me, I actually wear glasses to see, and I'm looking crazy right now. Yeah. So okay. Listen. I want to be able to swim with turtles, right? But I want it to be safe. So yeah. Okay. We're on the same page, because I want to be able to swim without dying. On the same page. Turtle drowns Janey. No, we're not. Yeah, look. We're about to have turtle soup, and I'm wearing its shell on my head, and that is okay to say, because in Minecraft you can wear the turtle shells as a helmet. Okay, so blame Minecraft, not me. Doesn't shadow ban me? Man, leave me alone. Don't talk heinous crimes, Cam. I have to show you guys Cam's area too, because Cam is here, well, in here, but not in here, because Cam has to work, because Cam is an adult. Yeah, I'm making turtle soup. It's time for the villager massacre. It's not. So just to show you guys before I start having to do a whole bunch of stuff, because I have things I actually have to do. Oh, this is Angelica from Facebook. Angelica from Facebook. Hi. Hey, what is up? Aziza. Killers. Hey, what is up? Ghost is my, oh. I'm coming. I'm gonna call. Oh, okay. Okay. I got her message. Uh, okay, I got a message. So Munchkin is gonna be here soon, and you guys are gonna be able to meet Munchkin. So guys, I'm currently playing Minecraft. All right, Minecraft is an awesome. I don't know what would we call it, sandbox. Sometimes survival, crafting. It's just an awesome game where you could actually just do whatever it is you want to do. Um, I like sheep. Hazelin joined the realm and Hazelin left the realm. Uh-oh. Yes, Munchkin is gonna be here. Wait, I'm dead. Wow, you be doing me dirty. I'm done. Oh, hey, what is up? Turbo? You guys? Hey guys. Hi. I see people I know in here. I see people I know. You guys are about to make me come back full time. You guys know I said that with sarcasm, right? Hey, what is up? How are you, Diddy? Wait, what? I'm here so I don't get fined. Well, then come to Minecraft so you don't get fined. Bet you won't download it. I bet you won't. So Didi is a partner on Facebook Gaming, a part of the Black Gaming Creators Program as well. On his way to being Xbox MVP. I'm calling it now. What is up, everyone? I'm happy. Yes, this is Cam's house. It's already downloaded. Then come in. So this is Cam's house. I'm going to show you guys. Let me get into my presentation voice. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to the stream. We're currently going to be viewing Cam's house, a.k.a. Killer Cam, in the chat. Now, as we waltz our way right over to this property, we have a nice makeshift pond. Daddy, I'm streaming. No, you guys might hear my dad periodically. Don't know why. I could have sworn he was going to go and do Uber like hours ago. I don't know why he's still here. Just don't know why I thought that he left. So, we have a nice makeshift pond, and over here we do have a nice current going. No fish inside of here yet, but it is okay. Now, as we tour the back, we do have a lot of vegetation. We see a lot of flowers because Cam be flowering. Okay. Also, back here, we do have some... Cam, did you steal my sheep? Yo, did you steal some of the sheep that were wandering around? I can't do this. Like, what is... Dad is the goat? No, he is not the goat. It's not a Janey stream without Dad and Cooper. Cooper might make an appearance. I'm in my Minecraft chair. Cooper might make an appearance. So in the back right here, we do have a lot of cool animals. Now we're going to go inside. So Cam's area, just to let you guys know, Cam's area is actually blocked off with fencing because when Cam got in here, the villagers kept on going inside of here. I was trying to make babies. Done. So in here we have a lovely interior. Look at that, a nice kitchenette. Okay. Let's go. We have a nice in-home garden. So when Cam wants to sit up here and whip up some fries, she has potatoes right here. All right. She has the beets. Okay. She's out here with all the soups. Your house is very special. Y'all do me dirty. So it's nice. Look, and then Felipe is out here. I think she named Felipe after her actual cat. Let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay. So Munchkin may or may not come yet. We'll the ETA on Munchkin is soon. Okay. So I'm letting you guys know that right now. Hey, 8 bit of fun. All right, let's go. We have So Meg, in the event that you guys ever need any broadcasters to help with any productions, we do have some lovely voices inside of the chat. We have 8-Bit of Fun, who actually has one of their own podcasts, which is really, really great. Gaming podcast. Really loves Xbox. Look, I'm trying to plug all you guys in right now, okay? We're plugging everybody's in. Okay. I don't know. Janey shenanigans. I'm chilling. Realtors of Minecraft. I love it. Exactly. So right here we do have 2 local inhabitants because Cam didn't name them. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, but this is Cam's like little humble abode. Now I call this the Hobbit area because it reminds me of Hobbit, of the Hobbit. And Chris is in here, which is awesome. There goes Chris. So Hazelin, let me get Hazelin in on Discord. Oh, wait, hold on. What happened? Wait, am I out of frame? I very well could actually be out of frame, to be honest. I've been doing like a lot of moving stuff in my room, so it's very, if I am out of frame, I should be good. Is this better? Is this better? I hope that is better. I will do that. I will do that for an hour until you guys tell me otherwise. Yes, I have. So wait, am I allowed to drop? I'm name dropping. Okay, I'm name dropping everybody today. So Secret Lab actually had sent me this awesome creeper chair. They sent it to me right before Minecraft. Oh my god, you're on the stream. I think you're on the stream, by the way. Why do you have to say hello like you're crazy? Can you guys hear Hazelin, or am I talking to myself? I hope not. There goes Chris. Good. Yes. So they sent this chair to me and everything like that. It was really creepy when they had sent the chair. I was like, so what happened was they contacted me and I was like, yo, this is a scam. I was actually gonna report the Secret Lab lady. Chris said voice chat. Chris, no, Chris, no. No voice chat. Sorry, Chris. I'm gonna have to say Chris can't be inside the voice chat. He's getting upset. Hold on. Wait. Oh, wait. You hit me. Don't find a bed, Chris. Find a bed. I hope you guys all find a bed. Oh, I think Chris probably left the game so we could all sleep. All right, so one last person just needs to go find a bed. Yes, and yes. I need some Puma stuff though. Like I actually need some physical Puma stuff. There's 6 of us. Get in the bed. Get in. Oh, Vibe is in here. Get in the bed. Get in ahead. Okay, you need another invite. Okay. hold on. I can't just get in the bed. Wait, no, I'm not in the bed. Wait. Oh, wait, no. No, you're fine. No, what do you mean a skeleton family? Why? Why the skeleton? Why the Why are you? Why are the skeletons in the tree? Why are the skeletons in the tree? Let me go ahead and invite Munchkin Doom. You guys are gonna have Munchkin Doom inside of here too. All right. So Munchkin Doom is about to be in the building. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm calling you right now. Hey! Hey! What is up? Bella? What? oh, I have to get you then. Because you haven't been inside of the new one. What do you mean bow down? Are you guys able to hear Munchkin? Yeah, I just want to make sure you guys could hear them, so it's not like I'm crazy, because I'm not doing this. Let me up this a little. No, you guys can't. I did not have you guys in the stream. That means I was sounding crazy.
They're missing all the great commentary. Okay,
yes.
I hear myself now, though. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Hold on. Wave, is it the same as? Hold on, because Vibe is in here. Hold on.
Because I don't want to live behind you. Like there's like a mountain behind you. What am I do with this?
There you go. We already know you're crazy. What do you mean? But what is up, Bella? How are you guys? Tell Bella, give everyone in the chat hearts for everyone who had COVID, whatever, and they are either recovering or have recovered and all that stuff. Because there's a few people inside the chat who have, who went through the whole entire COVID thing and all that, and they're, chilling, hanging out with us. So I do appreciate it. Chris, literally, I can't have Chris in here because Chris be Chrising. Let me join. Chris, you cuss. I can't. Chris.
Chris be wildin'.
No, I don't trust. He said I won't cuss. He said we Crispy Kristen, what is up? Dynamic Ninjas. Oh, by the way, Aziza, if you're still in here, hey. Chris I don't know. There goes Munchkin. By the way, guys, Munchkin is a content I don't know. I just see her frolicking and then she just murdered a chicken.
Oh, okay.
She just has like a block in her hand.
It'd be like that.
What is that? What? No. Okay, Munchkin, stay still. Okay, so here's Munchkin. They can hear you, so you can talk. You know that, right? What? How are you just gonna walk away? Anyways, so Munchkin is in the voice chat, I think. Or maybe she muted herself, whatever. Anyway, so this is Munchkin. She is another partnered creator on Facebook. This is what I have to deal with. She probably did mute herself. This is what I'm having to deal with right now. Her whole entire head was about to pop off. So she is another partner content creator on Facebook Gaming. Hey, hello. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I like cheese.
Okay, and I like chocolate milk.
I like
So.
chocolate milk.
Yeah, he was just like chocolate milk. Okay, so guys, reference to Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. All right, there was an imaginary friend that was made by this girl named Goo. I think her name was Goo. And like so like one day, like they woke up and then like there's just like this strange thing. And then he goes, I like chocolate milk. And then like he goes, nah! And then just like runs around. So that's what that's a reference to.
I like cheese.
Okay, can you introduce yourself? Like
Okay. Hi, I'm Munchkin. I am a partner streamer on Facebook Gaming, but I do have a Twitch. I am found on all social media as Munchkin Do. I do variety streaming and pretty much advocate for casual gamers, especially lady gamers, becoming all shapes, sizes, and colors. And why does the man in my way? So, yeah. I make sure that I use my voice and my platform to spread just a good message about diversity, inclusion, and just being your authentic self. Why does man in my way? Get off my face! You throw hands? You catch these hands. I also like bacon and cheese.
do you put the cheese on the bacon?
Hey yo,
It's a question.
you can, cause then you could get some egg and make it a bacon, egg, and cheese. Oh. Anyways,
I felt that.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
best intro ever.
Best. 10.
It was
Will recommend.
Highly recommend.
no, that was terrible.
It was amazing.
That was terrible.
We gotta get t-shirts now. I'm Munchkin Dude. I like bacon and cheese. Bam.
And then on the back, you have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on the back.
What do you mean?
I like bacon, egg, and cheese.
New stickers coming soon. Munchkin Doom, bacon and cheese. Let's go.
There you go.
Oh man, what is up, Miss Pinky?
Right.
How are you, Hazelyn?
Right,
where are
so-
you?
I'm frolicking. I need to understand.
Same.
I know. I know. Okay. All right. So
Where we at? What's popping?
okay. Brand new whip just
Black
hopped
sheep,
in.
Have you any wool? I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
Gonna do
What's
Just, like,
poppin'?
casually strolling.
So basically,
What's
so
up?
this is basically Chris's area. Chris right now is working on a Japanese styled home. So come with me. We'll eventually see Hazelyn so that Hazelyn can properly introduce
I
herself.
have a big question.
I have a big answer.
I'm trying to find y'all, but like, you know.
We're at Chris's
when
house.
You, like, I'm just saying this because
What?
it's a concern.
What?
I can
Like,
tell you
round.
have pants on,
What?
but if I look from the back, it's weird. Just letting you know.
That's
I'm sorry.
Is it chaps? Do you have chaps on? Are those chaps?
This is the Xbox stream.
You look ravishing.
This is the Xbox stream.
I can't. I freaking
This is
can't.
Xbox
I
stream.
can't. Oh, I found you.
I don't know why I'm being looked at like this. I don't appreciate this. Disrespect. Hold on. I'm not looking at Hazelyn yet. I'm gonna look in a second, and I have a feeling.
No. Hazelyn is okay. Hazelyn is okay. Yeah. She's normal. She's normal. She didn't come through. She didn't come through on a donkey, on a horse, or anything like that with full armor on for no apparent reason, with parrots on her shoulders.
Someone get some legs. I mean, I think she has chaps on.
No, I don't. I have.
What are
Jeez.
those? Are those chaps?
Gosh, and then they just matched. They literally just matched me.
Look, come put it back on. Put it back on. Give them some chaps.
do with this. I can't. Real tears. Real tears. Okay, introduce yourself, Hazelyn.
Hi. I'm Hazelyn. I do stream on Twitch sometimes. You know, I don't know. I'm here. Okay, I'm just a person in the background that sometimes makes crazy comments. All right.
And then you just throw fish at me.
Yeah.
It's a donkey.
Oh,
It's a
in the
donkey.
world? Oh my gosh. Oh, geez. Hey, what is up, Vibe? Look at Vibe out here. Look. Vibe is so fashionable. Me good.
Okay,
What's
I
up?
need, I need food because
Okay, I'll show you guys to the food.
you get on the donkey.
This right here is Matrice Moon. Like, you guys, peep all of our skins. You have a whole bunch of melanin. Alright? So, just let you guys know, if you guys do play Minecraft, and you guys are interested in actually finding out how you can make your own skin, I got you. Just say the word. We can do this.
Donkey. I'm on a donkey.
Oh, gosh. Friends, let's take a group picture. Group photo. Shut up.
In the dark?
Yes. Man, what? What? It fits the theme.
He gave
Oh,
me my baby
oh,
zombie.
oh, kill the zombie. Kill it.
Watch out. Who got swords? Oh!
I have a diamond sword and I'm just backing up.
This is why we don't need to do stuff in the dark. Okay? This right here. Yo, if that whole skeleton army come out here, they plotting up on that hill. I see them. You see them walking? There's a creeper. You see the creeper?
Okay. Here goes some food. Let's take a group picture. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Okay. All right.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Okay.
Where am I going?
Group picture. No. Well, okay. Just group picture. Oh,
I got rotten
jeez.
flesh. Oh, no.
Okay. Well, no, that's fine. Okay. Why do you guys like to do this? Is everybody gonna just be squatting? Like, what is this?
Yes.
What?
G unit.
What do you mean G unit? Okay, your butt is in the photo. Like, what is this? No, we're not doing a G unit photo. I didn't even sign up for G unit.
Okay, J unit? What are you?
No,
what are you doing?
I'm not even sure if that's family friendly to say. I'm not sure. I don't know. What is going on? Oh my gosh. No, I don't want my own unit. No, okay. No, okay.
We can't do the whole, peace sign and the squat pose IRL. So can we at least try in the game? Like,
what do you mean you're working on your fitness?
She's my witness.
I'm done, Fergie. I'm not doing it. I can't. Okay, let's take this picture. Let's take this picture. Okay. I'm taking the picture. Stay still. Chris, stop moving.
Hey, yo, hold on, wait.
Chris, get into the frame.
They gotta get the food. You guys see
am I
the
supposed
food.
to look up to the moon goddess? What am I looking to? Where am I looking?
I'm looking up to the sky. Look at me.
All right.
Behold.
This is why.
With the food in my hand.
Chris, stop jumping. This is not a jumping photo. Oh, I hear stuff. Ah! Oh my god! Ah! No! Wait! No! Wait! Oh, wait! Woo!
Some fish. What?
Okay.
Now it's time to claim my home. Where can I go?
Oh, they're on top of Chris's house. Wait, why are they on top? Why are they?
Hey, yo, we get sniped.
Welcome to our lovely shenanigans.
Yes.
Sir, that ain't how this goes. Now I got your bow and arrow. Now what? West side. Oh, wow!
Oh, no! Hello, sir! No! I don't want your car extended warranty!
Nothing's interested in warranty. Chris has like no lights up here. There's like no lights up here. Look at this man. Wait, why were the? Yo, that skeleton actually had bad aim. What is
Hey,
this?
yo, wait a minute. This cow over here happy. What you happy about? What's up, cow?
Are you
What
saying what's
happened?
up to the cow and then you're gonna slaughter the cow? Hello?
What's popping? I wasn't even
What is
touching
up,
y'all
everyone?
yesterday.
Yeah, yes, you were. I felt like you were. You're gonna come back with some leather boots.
With the
I
fur?
mean, you out there with your level chaps, you know.
That's not what it is. That's
Coming
not
back
what it
with
is.
some leather boots with the fur. Let's go.
Yes. All right, all right, all right. Let's go and
Hey.
sleep. Does everybody have a bed?
Nope.
Okay, all right. If you don't have a bed, come with me.
What's a bed?
Yeah, we're out here surrounding surrounding Chris's house. Pinky, if you want to come through, if you want to come through and play,
What's poppin'? Hold up.
brand new whip just hopped in. I got options. Yes.
That was not the option to beat.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, yo.
Ma'am,
Hey,
ma'am,
yo, we got Triton,
ma'am.
We got Triton boy over here.
ma'am,
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey,
Ma'am,
yo. Oh, no.
ma'am,
I need a second hit.
ma'am,
Second hit. I'm
ma'am.
about to die.
ma'am.
Juke.
You say juke now. You don't know the area.
Oh, nice. Oh,
I hope
somebody
you
died.
juke into a whole entire hole. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Who died?
yeah.
I'm
Is
picking
it?
up stuff.
Is
I
this?
wanna
Is
pick
is
up
this
stuff.
really what? Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you want to do?
Who died? Was any of us on here? Oh, Lord.
Is this really what you want to do?
I have a joke though. I have a joke.
Uh-huh.
Boom.
You know what?
Tell me what you want. Wow. Wow.
All I want is a little respect.
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me where you were at with your health.
Wow.
Your whole body just tilted to the
witnessed
side.
murder live. Live. Okay? All the witnesses. Okay? Janey out here ruthless.
Yeah. That's how she treat the elderly, yo.
I'm done. Why did Delay Wave just throw your bones into a pile?
They said can they have their diamond sword back? What's diamond sword?
What diamond sword back?
Oh, yeah, they died.
Oh.
There's bees nearby. I just
Yo,
wanna
so
buzz.
speaking of diamond swords, the other day I went off on people because I could have sworn that you guys stole my stuff. I found my stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, Matrice helped me to find my stuff when I was giving her a tour.
Somebody clip it and did y'all take my meats? Hey yo, I want my bone.
I can't. I got some. Wait, I have your stuff. Wait, come here. I'm gonna get you a bed. I'm getting you a bed. But hey, everyone, welcome to the stream. My name is Janey Laney, and you guys are actually witnessing some of the. Matrice, it was just a young chicken. Some of the shenanigans that we that have been going on. That have been going on for the past 4 years. For the past 4 years, I've been playing Minecraft with people like Munchkin, Hazelin, Dark. So I'm like really, really, really excited. And like I said, I am the creator of Blackminecraft, where we do everything that we can do in order to highlight Black and POC players. It's very important because when I first started playing, I just did I couldn't even have my own like skin on Xbox that actually looked like me without me having to put money into it. And then when I did try to find skins, and put money into it, like the skins they just didn't look like a Black person should look like. And I'm just going to be honest. I started then seeing that there was a problem. People on my stream on Mixer, they saw me spend a lot of time trying to find a skin that would be appropriate for me. And then I just had to, get over it, I guess, and spend money. So I actually had to pay to be Black at one point. That's wild. You never hear that. So yeah, so ever since then, we've been working on ways that we can highlight Black and POC creators.
I don't need the sand.
Oh, sorry. No, I was holding the sand. Give you what?
Give me my thing.
What thing? Which one?
I appreciate the sword.
Which one?
I need the fleece of the sheep.
You need them boots with the fur.
There you go. There you go. So yes, so come over here. So basically, what we do have actually a Java server as well. That Java server, you guys are actually going to see that a little bit later on this week. Like I told you guys earlier, I am making my return to Twitch 2 days out the week. So you guys are going to actually be able to actually see the server. Yeah, so this is our storage area and whatnot. If you need food, there's actually a bunch of food inside this barrel that you could cook.
I need one of these fishing rods. Come here, girl. You look good. You look blessed. Yeah. How you doing?
And all these books right here are like free for the taking. So if you need any books and stuff, upstairs is like the enchantment table.
This got a lot of stuff on it. Ooh, this got flame on it.
Yeah, look at that. To join the server, do we have to be sliced by a sword by Janey? Dee Dee?
I'm weak.
Dee Dee?
Maybe. It's your initiation.
Okay,
Are you saying, all right, you saying it's an initiation ceremony?
Right. Dee Dee, do you want to come in and find out?
Ooh. Yeah, bring him in here. Yeah.
Come here, Dee Dee.
Bring him in here. Come on over. I want you to come in here. Oh, but I'm gonna give you this
so right now, who the people who I am playing with right now are my friends, or if anybody did DM me on Twitter, I did let people know earlier, last week, that any Black Minecrafters that DM'd me on Twitter, they could easily hop in, only because of the fact that this is a Black History Month feature. I wanted it to be safe, all that jazz. But we will be periodically playing with others, like later on down the line, whether it be like later on this week, whatever. But we like our stuff usually you have to like sign up for and stuff like that, and we need to know who's in, because I'm telling you, playing this game, playing with followers, playing with viewers and everything, yeah, there have been people who have spammed the N-word on signs and all. Like, I've had worlds desecrated just because I was Black. So yeah, so we're very, very, very careful around here. BVR, Beaver Human. So yeah, so what you guys could do inside of the chat, there are my links and stuff like that. What you guys can do is you guys could go ahead and follow those links. You guys just look me up on Twitter too, like just Janey, Laney and stuff like that. We could connect like that. Like I said, I'm all about trying to highlight the Black players and the players who are of color. Very, 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 very big in importance. It's nothing racist or anything like that. It's just the fact that we're never really seen. And then when we are seen, we are usually berated with racial comments and things like that. So we build a safe place. You love Apex. Munchkin actually plays Apex a lot. A lot.
Yeah. But where's that portal at? Because I heard it.
Oh, it's upstairs. Am I on are you mean like Insta, like Instagram? Instagram?
You might be greeted by some
okay, so if you want to No,
yeah,
well, we are I mean, are you ready? Are you ready?
No. I need a place to stay first off. You ain't finna have me out here looking crazy.
Just pick a bed and you just
I got a bed, but I need a place to stay. I need prime real estate. You know how this goes.
Ma'am.
Hey, I'm still looking for prime real estate.
Ma'am, come upstairs. Come upstairs so you can see the nether. What stairs? Because there are no stairs. What stairs? There's no stairs here. What? You're in the air. I don't know how you got up here. Stairs.
Hey, yo, it's something up there upstairs over our heads. Oh, I don't know about this nether, man.
Come on, come here. Come here. Don't go in that way. Go in this.
Yeah,
come on.
I haven't
come
been
on.
I went in there and then I was greeted.
Hey, Jeff, what is up? How are you? Just come get in here. Get in here. Okay. You're safe right here. No, they're safe. It's safe. It's safe right here.
You get greeted by a barbershop.
Oh my gosh. No, you don't die though. But you don't die. No, it's okay.
yo,
No,
what you
just
here for?
come here. Just
There's a
come
whole
on.
lot of them right there. We get some XP. Put some
Hey, yo,
slabs.
slime. Oh, what is this?
He's
What is
too
this?
thick. He's too thick to come through.
The thick boy.
Yeah, thick, son. Hey, yo, where young MJ at? Nah, I'm out. No, see, you got me messed up. See, there's certain things I will do. I will do anything for love, but I won't do that.
What? No, it's okay. So, okay, so basically what happened was that when I first got in here, there's on the other side of this, it's a whole ledge. When I first got in here, I almost died a few times. So that's why I decided to cover all this. The ghast is usually stalking me. There's usually like just slime and ghast everywhere over here. So that's a huge issue.
You going there with a bow?
Oh,
I'm mad that
you guys.
Diddy just said that when I got murked, he would have did a eulogy. Hey, yo, what?
Hey, yo!
What? Be
Hey,
glad
hey,
I'm not
hey.
in chat. When Munchkin got murked,
What?
I would have did a eulogy. He would have been like, guys, let's take a moment of silence for Munchkin Doom. Here layeth her body. And then it just would have just like went weird. And then he would have closed out with like, you know, a little shimmy and shake and boom.
I will
I
say
feel
it in
it.
chat and I will say it out loud. We're not doing this today in front of Xbox, Diddy. Not today.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today.
Okay, so can I go find my prime real estate? Like, can you help me find prime real estate?
Look at your friend. Look at your friend.
Oh, this man, he just morphed. He just morphed in things. What are you doing? What are you doing?
So we have like a lot of things that we need to try to figure out in this nether. This nether's looking janky, okay?
Why
I
is it
don't-
snowing here?
These are just particles.
Nether was janky too, though.
All the nethers be janks.
Yeah.
No.
But look at the strider. Oh, look at the
Ma'am.
strider. Look at the
Ma'am.
strider. Wait, I'm looking at the strider. Look at the strider.
Listen.
Look at the
and I'm about to get murked by
strider.
something that's over my head.
No, look at the striders.
I'm telling you, ever since that new update, especially for Bedrock, yo,
Nah.
them
I'm
nethers, they been
I don't
hit
have
or miss.
nothing. I don't have nothing to
Oh, where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Cause I'm like, wait.
Posterize me on this show. No,
Munchkin, you gotta hit him with a quick. Oh my god.
Just hit him. No,
No, it's okay. It's okay. You think I'm really gonna let you die? I mean, I'll kill you, but I won't let you die.
Wow. Is this what we're doing today?
Well, you didn't tell me that what your health was sitting at. Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna go find me some prime real estate because what I don't have is time for this.
The
I found
flying
jungle
cats
and
are
I
here.
forgot where I found it, so here I am on this boat.
Oh
I'm
my
by somebody's
gosh.
house again. Somebody's house.
Which
I'm
one?
gonna go find my prime real
So
estate.
yeah, so guys, this is our storage area. We have like we're kind of building it up. It's not an automatic storage yet, so like I didn't do like auto sorting or anything. I was watching Pixel Riffs actually go over some of his auto sorting shenanigans. So I may end up doing auto sorting. I don't know yet. So this is one of our areas with just like a whole bunch of bees.
There's bees out here, man.
Yeah,
A lot of bees.
there's a lot. I was needing some things. So basically you can use honey in order to wax the copper so that it won't turn. So that's why I needed to have a lot of bees. Like it was
Wait, we gotta
crazy.
wax copper now?
Well, yeah, if you wax the copper, it won't turn.
Yeah, because the copper oxidizes.
Yeah. So if you
So
want it to
it'll go-
oxidize and turn green, then you
Yeah.
can. But
The fact that we gotta do that is just like.
it's innovative.
Yeah, if you don't want it to turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why, okay,
And I think
why would
there's an
not want it
upkeep,
to
too.
turn?
Well,
'Cause you don't want it
aesthetic
to turn
purposes.
if you don't want it to go green.
Okay.
If not everybody wants that green oxidized look.
Right.
Yeah.
So like they want to keep it that copper, so you gotta wax it. You gotta wax that mug.
You get anxiety when you go to the nether. To be honest with you, so when I first started playing Minecraft and then I got Munchkin to come and play, going to the nether actually used to be beyond scary. Like there'd be times when, oh my God, when it would just freak us out.
Another is terrible.
Yeah,
It's
and then there
always
was that
terrible.
one time that I was running.
That wasn't the nether. That was a map.
I am lost.
Wait, that wasn't the nether when I fell forever?
Oh yeah, no, that definitely.
Yeah.
And we was playing with ghosts, and you
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
And it was like GG's in the chat.
Yeah. I never fell so much in Minecraft. Like, I swear I was falling for like a minute.
Yeah,
Is Minecraft crossplay? Yes, actually, it is crossplay. I am currently playing. Matrice Moon is in here, and she is actually on PlayStation.
Go to bed.
Okay.
How many of us in here, yo?
Go to bed. It's 5. Go to bed.
I'll wait until.
So yeah, so it is crossplay now. Java. So I do have Java. Java is not crossplay. Java is just Java. So if you have just the Java edition, which supports, a bunch of mods, this, that, and the third, that is not crossplay. But if you just have Windows 10 edition, then yes, you can crossplay. So I'm currently playing on Windows 10 edition. So, so with Windows 10 edition, you could play with mobile, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
It's only 4 of us sleeping. Who not sleeping? Hey, yo, somebody about to beat me. Hell, somebody beat me out the bed. I just got beat out the bed.
Oh no, I'm sleeping.
Hold on, I'm trying to get back in the bed, but he beat me out of it. I was in the bed first.
You said, did you just say I was in the bed first?
Look. Oh, you see? I was in the bed.
You're about to play today. Pinky, I told you you could play.
I literally just got beat with my own. Listen, I was sleep first. I wait for y'all, and then guess what happens? I get beat.
I'm just do this. I'm doing this. I'm a log. All right? I'm a log.
They jumping me.
So can you send me all the details on this? I'm willing to learn. What details, Dee Dee? What details do you need?
They jumping me.
It's honestly just get the game and start playing. There is no
details.
get
it here. That's all it is.
So right.
You have to remember that Minecraft is a sandbox game. There isn't there is no like objective.
Yeah, there's no technique.
Do whatever you want.
So right now, I'm playing with my friends and with people who I connected with on Twitter. Just because of the fact that it is a Black History Month feature. My realms and everything like that are geared towards making sure that we do have emphasis on Black and POC Minecrafters. Who is not in the bed?
It's me.
Oh.
What do you mean?
It's me. What is up? Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you guys? Thank you so much for following.
Do it now. Do it now if you can. Do it now if you can. If y'all get back in bed, I don't know, whatever.
What?
You know what?
Do it now? Do what?
I love.
Activate.
I'm just gonna.
I'm dead.
I'm getting beat by 5 zombies, screaming for my life. All my life I had to fight.
I'm sorry.
Nobody cared.
It's okay.
Screaming.
It's okay.
I was screaming.
It's okay. We heard you.
We
just didn't do anything. But yeah, we heard you.
But we are in a realm, so if you want to, you can.
Yeah. Oh, there's 11K viewers. Hi. Or 1K. 1K, 11. I can't read.
It's 11.
Hi.
Is it daytime yet? Can I come
Yes,
back?
yes, it's daytime.
Oh, okay. That's really nice.
Well,
nice
hello, 11K viewers. My name is Janey Laney, aka, J Dot, Lane Dot. I don't know. I was thinking about joining a Minecraft gang, so I don't know. I might change my name in the future.
Help.
What do you mean help? Where are you?
They still beating me. I was out here trying to get my prime real estate, okay?
Okay, so that means you're by water, right?
Yes.
Where are you? I am by. So wait, where? So okay, so are you in the main area?
I don't know. I just know that this.
I'm going back.
Coordinates.
Because I went
coordinates.
And
Oh yeah, -128.66, -311.
Oh,
I'm
you ain't
used to not
far.
playing
Oh,
retarded, you know.
okay.
You're not far.
Well, they were beating me. They were rolling in the deep with each other.
See,
I'm
look, that's
currently 1,000 out.
can we make J Unit shirts though? If we make J Unit shirts, what's going to be on the back?
Yeah, I got him. Yeah, yeah. Now y'all ain't beating me no more. And a creeper almost blew up my bed. You messed up this real estate out here. I don't want it no more.
Your social? Why not? Hello?
All right, so you said one. Okay, what was the last numbers?
Hold
The
on,
last one.
I'm coming back.
Oh, well.
Why is T-Mobile calling me now? Like, are they serious? Like, as if I
Yeah.
don't have nothing to do all day. I don't have nothing to do.
So this is one of the little bungalow houses that are I don't know, conflicted was supposed to, look, this is going to be something. We don't know what's going to be in there. So I need to still figure out about this iron golem farm actually. That is actually what I need to figure out how to make. Is the iron golem farm.
Oh, yeah, you supposed to show me that last time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, yes. 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 Wait. Where are
I'm
you
watching.
at? Oh.
I'm nowhere near you, but I am watching.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do this 3-point turn real quick. You know. Okay. And so for those of you guys who are watching, I'm currently using Mizuno, the Mizuno texture pack. I'm starting to love this texture pack. It took a while because Hazelin will tell you guys, it was so difficult trying to find a texture after the update.
It was.
Oh gosh.
It was.
Oh my goodness. Just so difficult. All right, so here we go. So over here is actually the island or area where we started breeding villagers because we need to have, what is it, 20 villagers for Bedrock?
No, son, where they at?
This is where some of them
Bedrock,
are at.
for a decent.
Why is he on the? How are they on the roof?
They've been on the roof.
Partying.
I was over there venturing the first time I came on, and I was like, "What is this? Why are they on the roof? Like, is this like a little village? Like, what's happening?"
They said party like a rock star. Party like a rock star.
Hello?
They shooting a music video. Remember? Yeah, exactly. There you go. They shooting.
I'm done. I'm just trying. I'm trying to figure out a few things here. I has questions. Okay, well, and then
wait. How do I hear bread face by me? How is you under the water? Did you drown bread face?
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I see bubbles. I don't.
Oh no! Is he dying?
Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh no, that's magma. Never mind.
Oh, I was about to say, oh no. So here are some beds. I think we're supposed to have 24 bedrock for the thing, right? They are debating on your conversation, on your conversations, on your convert. Guys, I can't read because my glasses are over yonder.
What? Why?
I can't.
Why you have glasses on?
I can't remember where I put them. Okay.
Oh, so you ain't got your Tiffany glasses, don't know.
I don't have I don't have the Tiffany's right now. Give me about like 10 minutes. I'm still mentally trying to like figure out where I put them out.
Man.
I thought the villager was on my house. Like for real.
I'm by somebody's house where there's a lot of bees. And there's smoke. I don't know where I'm at. Well, I'm like negative. Wait, I'm like negative.
If it's very aesthetic, then it's probably camps.
Oh no, yeah. No, I'm by the storage house.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so these guys right here are supposed to be part of our iron golem farm, but I think we need 20, and I don't know where we're gonna put the actual farm at.
You know what I want?
There's several answers that can be that. Babies from here. I'm done. So when we breed them, the babies just like fly out.
Hey yo, why is there people on top of this roof?
What? Because they have no morals. I don't know.
Nah, they shooting a music video up there. I want piece of that. I want that.
So yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe we need to put the iron golem farm maybe like in the water,
Hell no.
or does it? Where does it have to be at?
I'm gonna look back this way because these trees is tall. What are these trees?
The jungle trees. 9 times out of
that's
10.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, no, you could like chop them up and then just replant because that's what I did.
Why is there teal sheep here? Never mind. I'm not asking questions.
No, there's
anymore.
teal sheep because why not? The proper term is cyan. According to Minecraft, it is cyan.
Oh God. Oh.
What happened? What happened? What happened?
Where is she? Where is she at?
She's by the sheep, by dark sheep complex. So yeah, so we have these villagers right here. I don't know how to. I need to breed them and then kidnap them, put them somewhere, right? Because I don't.
Possibly build it over here, but I was just like,
Why this man got a fox face? Ayo, what's poppin'?
Yeah, they're like cute little animal villagers.
Wait, he's a villager.
Yeah. Yes, so this is Bedrock Edition. I'm currently playing with Mizuno, which is an awesome texture pack. Playing inside of my realm. Go to the storage area and on the side in the barrels. So yeah, so I don't know where we're supposed to make the iron golem farm. Like I don't know how to set it up or anything.
All right, where is it at? Where's you guys start?
We just started breeding the villagers. That was the main thing. Yeah, because remember they weren't breeding.
Chris made it seem like y'all were like y'all built it, but it just wasn't.
Chris did build it and then took it down.
Oh, well,
because it wasn't working. So like I don't know what we need.
Okay.
Oh, it's a cat.
I can work on that later then.
Yeah. So I don't know what kind of like materials we need. Oh my God!
Okay. All right. You know.
All right. I'm in some
We're good. We're good.
All I saw was your little body fly. Your little body flew through the little space, and then I just heard you burning.
Hey, yo, what?
Cause she just fell on a campfire.
Yeah, I feel like campfire.
That sounds common. Yeah, it sounds like, we just do that every day, every day. We just
oh, burning cats now. No. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, so these are the villagers that are going to be part of, I guess, the iron golem farm. One of the issues that we were having though is like towards that way where like we have like the main village and the storage area. They were not really breeding properly.
Like I did before.
Right.
Yeah, we could just
so what would we need for that? What would we need for that? Yeah, what would we need for that one? Because that's a big thing for me is trying to figure out like what all do we need. Noonit? Mm-hmm. New words.
What's
okay, hold on, because we need to get more tings. We need more tings. Hold up. I want that coal. We'll be okay. Oh, let me go and sleep real quick, so I could go ahead and do this safely. I'm done.
You better get in bed.
Hold on.
You better get in bed. I ain't playing with you.
There. Look, I did it. I did it. The glass is so pretty. Yes. So like I really do love inside this texture pack that the
see? And then if I start getting beat by some people again, don't you even say it's me. Don't even say it's me. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't hear nothing.
Is that you, Munchkin?
I'm tired, y'all.
So in this texture pack, the colored glass, like they do a really, really nice like modification to the glass, with the coloring that I like because it's not only a different color, but like it's also a different design. I swear we're gonna have sleep issues.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Who's
The
not
last time it was
sleepy?
me. Don't come for me if I ain't sent for you. Am
Ah! That's actually one of the funniest things about Bedrock.
Okay, good. Okay.
Okay, back to me trying to get this darn coal real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a spider.
Oh my God! It was like, hey, oh, it's this man riding a spider.
Tell him hello. Ask him what his name is.
Nah, I'm out. I'm out. I did say I got time for this.
Jeffrey.
Nope.
His name's Jeffrey.
I can't.
Why Jeffrey? I just why Jeffrey?
Yes. Okay, look, you need to get on Minecraft. Like literally, I'm going to be honest with you. If the Xbox staff would ever like to have a Minecraft day, all right? You tell Aaron, right? Tell Mr. Greenberg that you guys all need a day where for research purposes you guys can play Minecraft with me.
Okay. Research purposes.
Yeah. In order to make your jobs, better for the community so that, you understand more of the games and everything like that, you guys need to have a Minecraft day with me.
Where are the games?
Yeah, basically. For Mommy Bell! Hey! Yes. For research purposes,
Oh, they in the water now. Oh, he trying to twirl on my body.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I see something that looks like a residual of something, or is it just not loaded in for me? Hold on. What is this?
What is
It's definitely torched up back over here.
Ooh.
What is this?
You're talking about like on the little island part? That might have been something that Cam did.
Yeah, it looks like there's like some stairs, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like there's stairs in the air, and like that's kind of it.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that something might have been here and was taken down. I don't know.
It's the
Maybe.
So
this is something that I really do like. Hey, La Lady Panda, how are you? Chat's not dead. Well, hey. So this is really, really, really cool. For those of you guys who have not been on Minecraft in a while or have never seen Minecraft, this is actually amazing landscaping. So because of the latest update, you're seeing what you're seeing now. Before the update for caves and cliffs, like where they actually did start changing and making caves and cliffs, just saying, no shade, just saying. When part 2 came out, finally we started getting more, like we started just getting more land features. And this is something that I honestly do like. Like this looks marvelous. Oh gosh, I really do wish I could get a before and after the update on this one because this just looks nice. Like look at that water, okay? Look at the water, the scenery. There are some llamas. I'm letting you know now that some llamas have been slaughtered.
Where the llamas at?
By me.
I want a llama.
Because they were talking very reckless and I had to out them. But it's fine.
That's very aggressive.
They just I needed to take them out. Okay, all right. So tell me, picture this.
Not the picture this.
All right? Shout out to all my Golden Girls fans. Picture this. Okay? Janey was in the village. Janey wanted to trade. Llama was like, nah, in my ear. I said, okay, it's fine. That's cool.
Who let the dogs out?
Now you better be glad that there was nothing down there that could have killed you. So when I was like going in there, all of a sudden the llama like spat at me because I accidentally hit it, and then I had to get him, and then I started just killing llamas everywhere. You know what? you guys see Munchkin's shenanigans right now, okay? I'm gonna let you know this now. Normally, she wouldn't survive something like that.
Hey, don't play me like this. Don't do me like this.
There could have been a pit of lava down there. A pit of lava. I could have had a pit of lava right there, and her behind. Her behind would have just been like.
I'm finding me some prime real estate. Bid you good day.
If you survive the day.
First off, what you not fit to do, boo boo, on this great day is insult me.
We're gonna see what happens. Everybody, please monitor the game chat, because if that thing says Munchkin Doom was shot by arrow,
it's because the spider jockey man came after.
So yeah, so this area right here, I honestly, Hazelin, just wanted to make this like the Iron Golem farm area, to be honest. Like, I just figured, like, why not? Because we need iron. Like, ever since, you know, the update, iron has been so scarce. What? Yo, where are you guys going?
I got a black sheep.
I hate it here, and apparently the villagers do too, cause they're in a boat.
Yeah, they not feeling none.
Well,
it's not the turtle club for them.
Listen.
I got wood. I need the other wood though. But I see a forest.
Okay.
All
right.
Are villagers over here too? How they get over here?
Yeah, man, they've been running rampant. This is their area. This is like where they live now.
I got a black sheep though.
Like I'm deep in the jungle right now, trying to traverse through this
Hey
water.
guys, welcome to the stream. At least the boat didn't disappear. You're right. We're headed out. You coming exactly. Hey, matter of fact, King Avenging. Wait, is that Tax? Is that Tax with the rebrand, or is this another King Avenging? Not mess with the merchant's llamas. I did not. So all this area is going to be dedicated to, I guess, Iron Golem Farm. I kind of want to have it set up though, Hazelin, like like the one that you did last time that was in the water. I liked it a lot, where like you had like there were like 2 sections to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like that a lot because there was enough space inside of it too.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go back here.
Candy!
Hey, Candy!
What's up?
Guys, make sure you guys are all following Candy. All right? I give Candy the right, if she wants to go ahead and put her links in the chat. All of her links, all platforms. No. So give her about 7 lines to put all of her links.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit you. No one spit on me.
Oh, Latrice got by a spider.
I thought I was supposed to end up on the kill feed though. It's cool. Sorry.
Beautiful. Hey.
Yes, I love it. Look, I love it here. I'm going to be honest with you. Minecraft is actually one of the best games in the whole entire world. And logistically, they can say that too. They hit 1 trillion views on the YouTube channel for a game. Hello. They are also one of the games that brings in the most amount of money. I'm just saying. I'm like, literally, that's why Minecraft doesn't have to go to game shows. You want to know why? They'll blow everybody out the water. Game of the year, Minecraft. Like, it's just gonna be that every time. Like, we know. Game of the century, Minecraft. Hello, I agree. Chilling like a villain. Ooh.
What's happening?
Oh wait, is Ghost working right now?
What is happening?
Yeah, that's why. What happened?
Like it really is the best. And let me tell you about how good this game is. Okay, all right. When people told me that I need to go play the game, I said, no, this game looks stupid. I was like, nah, I'm not going to play the game. Yo,
She did.
4 years later, I'm still on the game. I got a problem. And I love Minecraft everything. I have a little Minecraft poster that Dee Dee got me. I need to get some like more of just like Minecraft stuff just like everywhere. I have let's see here. Munchkin's giving me Minecraft Lego set. I have some Minecraft pants someplace. Like I really do like Minecraft. So if you guys ever wanted to give me Minecraft stuff, FYI, it is Black History Month, but it's also my birthday month. My birthday is on the 28th. If you guys did want to send me Minecraft things, just go ahead and send me a message on Twitter and I'll let you guys know how. Just saying. I have Minecraft Uno cards too, so you know.
Not the Uno card.
Yeah, I do have the Uno cards. I need to go mining real quick. We need more we really need more gold. If we're gonna go inside that nether, we literally need more gold. So that everyone can have
head towards the water because I don't have any torches and I'm in the middle of the jungle.
So that everybody can have some gold and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and cook.
All right, nobody. No, don't cook right now because it's about to be dark. I ain't trying to be dealing with this. Get to bed. I better not hit nobody. Don't better not hit nobody. Nobody.
My daughter was like, "Mommy, you should play Minecraft." I was like, "No, just watch Janey slander." You should play. Look, Candy. Hold on. You want to do PvP? They have PvP. If you just want to go and slaughter some people inside the servers and stuff, you could do that. They have BR. You know, they have all types of PvP. Wait, what happened to La Lady Panda? What did she wait. Goes to chat. Do. Wait, where's La Lady Panda at? Wait, what happened? What happened to La Lady Panda? Lady Panda.
I see her in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I see. But Mommy Bell said that's crazy amazing. I got Minecraft as a B-Day present on the 360 11 years ago, and I still play it. Yo, if I could pin comments. If I could pin comments, that would be the pinned comment. Hey, what is up? How are you? Welcome. All right, so I'm getting ready to go mining because we need gold. We need gold. All we have right here, like we have some. Oh, hold on. I may have lied. Hold up. How many gold bricks?
A broken nether portal.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think I did.
Let's see here. That only gives me 10. Ew. Like.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Hello.
I mean, hey, if there's stuff in there.
Okay. Ah, man.
Go on ahead.
Already found it.
I only watched Janey play this. Well, I appreciate it, Candy. And so Xbox, all right, talk to Candy. Thanks. Let her do a show. Thanks. All right. She's partnered on 4, 5, 7, all the platforms that you can be partnered on. She's there. So, you know, she really loves Xbox. She really loves Apex. Talk to her. Talk to Munchkin. Talk to Hazelin. Talk to all these people. All right. I like to name drop. No, like literally, like Candy's partnered on platforms that we don't even know about yet. So the newest platform, she's gonna pop up partnered with the whole entire like T-shirt and stuff. Like I'm just letting you guys know that now. Just saying.
Yeah, that's kind of fly though. You know, you just pop up and just be like, yeah, got partnered there.
Yeah. She's gonna just show up. She's gonna be like, yeah, I'm partnered. Partnered with who, Candy? Don't worry about that. A month later, boom, there we go.
Okay, so someone was over here because this Nether portal ain't that broken. I mean, well,
what do you mean?
It's broken, but it got raided, and I'm not appreciative of this.
Oh, well, depending on where it's at, that's probably me. Like if there's nothing in the chest, that's probably me.
I said it.
You didn't have to do that. It doesn't matter, Candy. Look, I'm the type of person because of the fact that I'm featured right now, okay? We're going to talk about the people and the things we need to talk about. And Candy, you are on topic. Thanks. Black History Month, thanks. Your history, thanks. Not every single black person can even say that they are partnered with multiple platforms like you. Thanks, history. Okay, all right. Okay, BET. If you guys are watching, thanks. Like, hello. Come on now.
Not the BT, but yeah, but yes, the BT, because then do like a cut up night of gaming.
Like I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Like what I really do want to see, and I tweeted earlier, Aaron Greenberg saw it and everything. I really want to see Xbox working with all creators on all platforms, regardless of what's going on. I am a Facebook gaming partner. Okay, I don't stream on Twitch. My comeback stream is gonna be sometime later on, maybe this week or next week. Like, but Xbox didn't shy away from working with me, and I want them to be able to work with partners, with creators on all different platforms, regardless of their channel size. There are some really, really, really cool people that maybe they don't have 45,000 followers. That's perfectly fine. Who cares? It's all about the type of impact that they're making. I didn't know you could partner with MySpace. Well, Candy, are you partnered over there too?
Yeah, that's probably Didi in the chat talking crazy. It was probably Didi was in there talking.
What?
Didi, why you said tripping?
No, hold on. No, that was not Didi who said that either. Wait, Candy, are you partnered on MySpace?
I mean, MySpace is still technically a thing.
Or sorry, on HeySpace. I do have a HeySpace account.
I do have a HeySpace account myself.
Yeah. Or Space Hey. HeySpace. Can you partner? Man, look. Listen, I'm just letting you guys know, like what we need to do is we need to get it to where Apex goes, okay, Candy, we see you. Here goes your server. Xbox, if you could talk to Apex, thanks. Candy server, thanks. Munchkin server, thanks.
Hey, yo, I'm good.
Ooh, if we could have a Munchkin and Candy Apex tournament.
Nah, what you gonna do? Casual versus the pros?
Munchkin, why you saying like that?
I'm not getting no lobby.
I'm calling it out right now. What's up, Bridge? I'm calling it out right now. Candy versus Munchkin Apex. Let it go down.
No, yeah, it's gonna.
I'm shoutcasting. I'm shoutcasting.
Do you see how your friends do you?
I'm shoutcasting. I'm shoutcasting it.
Public failure? It's the public failure for me.
It's
public
failure.
Bruh.
All right, so who all needs gold?
See me and shooting me 2 times and I'm dead. I ain't got it.
No, you remember that one time?
I already got some right
But
now.
you remember that time I told you about the dream that I had when Candy shot me in the leg and was laughing? I was so hurt. I woke up kind of mad at her too. Like you ever had a dream about somebody and you just wake up mad?
You just hosted it. Nah, I knew where Janey was going with it.
Nah. She's gonna play.
See what I'm saying?
Thank you, Ziggy. Shout out to Ziggy, another podcaster. Okay, we did a whole entire podcast episode with him, me, 8-Bit of Fun.
Bow bow.
Shout out to Pinky. I think Pinky makes shoes. Don't quote me. We had a debate about this the other day.
No, Pinky does not
Pinky makes shoes. Pinky makes shoes.
Oh Lord.
Pinky makes shoes.
Oh my God.
And then models them on Twitter.
I'm so done with her.
Pinky makes shoes. But for real though, shout out to everyone inside of the chat. If you guys are a black content creator, connect with other black content creators on Twitter. Doesn't matter what platform they're on, anything like that. Connect. All right. If it wasn't for connecting, we wouldn't know a lot of the people that we know today. So make sure you connect with them on Twitter. If you are a person of color and you stream and you're sitting up there thinking to yourself, dang, I wish that I could, meet other people who are like me and stuff like that, make your Twitter. You'll find everybody. And trust me, Twitter, you'll find everybody.
For real though, she's not wrong.
Like
She's
I
not
like
wrong.
you will literally find everybody. Pinky makes cakes. Xbox stream. Who needs gold? I have gold helmets for everybody, so we could go into this nether. I have gold helmets. If anybody needs a gold
Is
helmet,
that what we doing right now? We going into the
I mean, if you know, Matrice,
Oh!
Matrice, get out here. Come here. Come on, guys. We're going to the nether.
We going into this.
But I'm kind of far. I'm kind of far. Y'all gonna wait or y'all gonna?
I'm far too. It's okay. I'm like negative. No,
I'm just trying to follow you all and support. Yes. So
900.
Erica, there are a lot of content creators who are inside of the channel. You can kind of tell who's the content creator and stuff like that. But there are a lot of content creators who are inside the channel. Some of them come from Facebook Gaming. Some of them are here on Twitch. Some of them are just mainly like YouTubers and stuff like that. So I really, really, really have this, like, I have this thing in my mind where I think to myself, where do I want to see Xbox? I want to see Xbox working with everyone. I really do, because I've been blessed to have, like, you know, a connection with you guys and stuff like that, and that's cool. But I want to see more of people who look like me working with you guys. You know, I'm an Xbox MVP. I want to see more Xbox MVPs that look like me. There's like so many areas of opportunity where we don't always get to speak out and talk with each other about these things to the consoles themselves. What, you're dead?
Emotional damage.
Oh my god! I was digging and then I went into an area and it's a lot of stuff. Help.
Don't judge us based upon our gameplay. You guys need to get here so we can go to Nether. So while Munchkin tries to handle that,
I am
here.
heading back. I am
They're
heading
dark.
back.
I don't even know if I'm going towards my bed. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh snap! See that's a whole entire GG. You said help Munch. I don't know. No, she's. Wait, that's not her. Okay, hold up. Wait, I have to give you your stuff. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right, so what hole did you fall in?
Ma'am, 'twas a hole. I don't know.
Where's your cords?
Yeah.
I think I'm going back to my bed. I think.
Wait. What was your middle cord when you fell down the hole?
I don't even recall. All I know is that I fell into water. A creeper blew up on me. Thank God it was water there. And
What?
I'm out. I'm back at my bed. I'm not doing this. Nope. I'm going to bed. Going to bed right now. Get in bed.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these beds down, and then we should all be able to go to Nether. Munch always falling into holes. Hold on, because yesterday, you and Munchkin and Serenity and Ghost were all playing with each other, and I do recall a young Dee screaming for his life. I do recall a young Dee screaming for his life. Okay? And you know the type of scream I'm talking about.
Oh, is that the end of it? Here we go.
Let me go re-download Minecraft. Yes. All right, come through, guys. Oh, tell him hello. Oh, yeah. You do need a pumpkin head. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and carve some pumpkin heads for you guys. Carve out some jack-o'-lantern little head things. Yeah, because he likes you. Hey, what's up, Concept? And shout out to Concept. So funny thing, Concept was the first black live streamer I ever met. Ever. Like, I didn't even know that we even had people that did it. Like, it was so weird. It was when I first found Mixer. And I wanted to find black content creators, but I wasn't sure what you're supposed to search. So I think I don't know what I think I went through the Fortnite, the Fortnite category, and I was scrolling through, and then I was like, I literally said, and I remember because I was sitting on my grandma's bed, I said, a black man. Just clicked on it, and it was so crazy, like Like Concept had all this high energy. There was a whole lot of dying going on, but there was a lot of high energy. It was real cool. All that jazz. That's actually how I met Munchkin too, and everything. So like, you know, shout out to Gradient Concept. It's going out pretty well. It's going out pretty good. Gears of War is actually a good game series. I really like the. Wait.
That game.
Hold on. So yes, that game. So we're gonna play that. We're gonna finish.
Wow. Oh, it only took a couple of years.
Mixer fell. So can I blame the?
That's not what that was.
I'm blaming the.
No, you tried it.
We lost our platform, so we
Yeah.
so I couldn't play Gears. You know, I was.
Oh,
You know.
so now that's.
You know, we have pumpkins to put on our heads.
Yeah.
Can I check my Discord? Yes, I can. Oh, okay. Cool beans. So, guys, we are actually, I think over time, but that's okay because Xbox loves you guys. So guys, we are, I guess, about at that time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It was a whole lot of craziness going on. Remember, you guys can actually catch me on all of my socials right there. I am making my comeback to Twitch. We're going to be streaming on Twitch 2 times every single week. But make sure you guys go ahead and follow me on Twitter so you guys can stay up to date with me. I am a Facebook gaming partner. So if you guys head over to Facebook, fb.gg/Real Janey Laney. You guys will find me on Twitter. You guys will find me at Twitter _ Janey Laney. On YouTube, it's just youtube.com/Janey Laney. So, yes. What am I supposed to do? Wait, do I just say I'm out? Or do I like...
Who do we host?
Wait. Am I supposed to host somebody or are we going straight into that other program? Because I think that they actually have another program. Like right after, I think. I think that they have a program. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And make sure you guys do follow Blackminecraft Twitter. All right, twitter.com/Blackminecraft. What are we? Wait. How does one end stream?
She Meg said we have a show after this.
Okay. All right. So I guess they just have to tell me like when to hit end. so I don't mess it up. Okay, we'll cut it. Okay. All right. Okay, bye guys. That's my face.
I'm weak. Really?
Face?
Is it your face?
Wait, do I